If you're thinking about buying gold, pause for a second, because most people don't lose money on gold. When they buy it, they lose money because they don't understand what they actually bought. Today, I'm comparing gold and Goldbacks, not based on opinions or hype, but on what really happens after the purchase, especially when it's time to sell. This isn't financial advice, it's a clarity check. And if you stay till the end, you'll see why two things that look almost identical can behave very differently with your money. At first glance, Goldbacks look like gold. They shine, they feel official, and they are marketed as spendable gold. For beginners, this creates a powerful first impression, but perception and reality are not the same thing. When you buy physical gold, you are buying a globally recognized asset. A gold coin or bar has standardized purity, weight, and pricing. Anywhere in the world, its value is understood instantly. Goldbacks are different. A goldback contains a very thin layer of gold embedded in a polymer note. Yes, it is real gold, but in microscopic amounts. Most of what you are paying for is not the gold itself, but the manufacturing process, artwork, and novelty. This is where beginners get confused. They believe they are buying an alternative form of gold money, when in reality, they are buying a specialty product that behaves more like a collectible than an investment. In the US, this confusion is amplified by inflation fears. People want something tangible, something that feels safer than dollars. Goldbacks are marketed into that fear. But feeling like gold and being gold are two very different things in investing, and confusing the two is the first mistake beginners make when comparing Goldbacks to real physical gold. When Americans buy physical gold, they usually pay a small premium. This means the price is slightly higher than the market value of gold. That extra cost covers minting, shipping, and dealer profit. The key point is this: the premium on physical gold is limited. If gold prices move up even a little, most of that premium disappears over time. That's why gold is considered an efficient store of value. Goldbacks are different. With Goldbacks, you are not paying a small premium. In many cases, you are paying several times the actual gold value inside the note. For example, a Goldback may contain a tiny fraction of an ounce of gold, but its selling price reflects artwork, printing technology, marketing, and collectability. The gold itself is only a small part of what you're paying for. This creates a hidden problem for beginners. Even if the price of gold stays stable or rises slightly, a Goldback buyer can still be at a loss. The gold price has to rise significantly just for the purchase to break even. This is why Goldbacks feel affordable, but are actually expensive. They lower the psychological barrier to buying gold, while quietly increasing the financial cost per dollar invested. That's a trade-off beginners rarely realize, until it's too late. Most beginners focus on how easy it is to buy an asset. Almost nobody thinks seriously about how hard it might be to sell it. This is where gold and Goldbacks separate completely. Physical gold is one of the most liquid assets in the world. In the US, you can sell gold coins or bars to local dealers, online platforms, banks, or private buyers. Prices are transparent, and spreads between buying and selling are usually tight. Goldbacks do not work this way. Goldbacks have a very limited resale market. Most buyers can only sell them back to specific dealers or to other collectors who already understand the product. That creates two problems. First, pricing power. When buyers are limited, the seller has less control over the price. Discounts become common. Second, speed. If you need cash quickly, Goldbacks are not guaranteed to move fast. You may have to wait, accept a lower price, or not find a buyer at all. This surprises many beginners. They assume that because Goldbacks contain gold, they will sell as easily as gold. But liquidity is not about what an asset contains. It's about how many people want to buy it. At any given moment, gold is liquid because it is universally recognized. Goldbacks are liquid only within a niche. And that difference matters. The moment you need an exit, gold is often described as protection against inflation. In the United States, this idea is deeply rooted. When the dollar loses purchasing power, people look for something real. Historically, gold has played that role well. Over long periods of time, gold has helped preserve purchasing power, especially during high inflation cycles. Goldbacks are marketed using the same idea. They are presented as inflation-proof money, but this is where theory and reality separate. Inflation protection depends on exposure. With physical gold, your value is directly tied to the price of gold itself. If gold rises, your asset rises with it. With Goldbacks, the gold exposure is extremely small. Most of the value is tied to premiums, design, and production costs, not to the gold market. This means inflation has to do more work to benefit Goldback holders. Gold prices must rise significantly just to overcome the embedded premium. In the short to medium term, Goldbacks often lag behind real gold. When inflation spikes, This creates a false sense of safety for beginners. They believe they are protected from inflation, while their asset reacts slowly or unevenly to actual changes in gold prices. Inflation protection is not about the label. It's about how directly your asset responds to rising prices in the real world. The biggest mistake beginners make is assuming that all gold-related products serve the same purpose. They don't. Physical gold has a clear role. It is designed for wealth preservation. People buy it to protect purchasing power, diversify portfolios, and store value over long periods of time. Goldbacks serve a different purpose. They are designed to be novel, collectible, and visually appealing. They work well as educational tools, gifts, or conversation pieces. That doesn't make goldbacks useless. It makes them specific. Problems start when beginners treat goldbacks as a replacement for physical gold. At that point, expectations no longer match reality. Goldbacks are not optimized for long-term wealth preservation, large capital storage, or efficient inflation hedging. Physical gold is. This is why experienced investors separate investment assets from interest-based or novelty assets. Goldbacks can exist in a portfolio, but they should never be mistaken for the foundation of one. Choosing the right tool for the right financial goal is what separates informed decisions from expensive mistakes. When it comes to goldbacks versus gold, the real issue is not which one is good or bad. The issue is understanding what you are actually buying. Gold has a clear proven role. It is designed to preserve value, to hedge against long-term inflation, and to serve as a globally recognized store of wealth. Goldbacks serve a different purpose. They are interesting, creative, and useful within a very specific niche, but they are not a substitute for physical gold. Most beginner mistakes happen, not because people are careless, but because marketing replaces understanding. Something that looks safe can still carry hidden trade-offs. The smartest investors don't chase what looks new. They choose tools that match their goals, their timeline, and their level of experience. Goldbacks may have a place for collectors or enthusiasts, but for beginners building financial stability, clarity matters more than novelty. In investing, the goal is not to feel secure. The goal is to actually be secure, and that starts with knowing the difference.